pleasant morning, everyone. I am Sunshine Izacha, together with Miss Kayla Jane Sabilio, and we will be discussing about workplace communication. I hope you listen and share your insight as we go on with our discussion. Imagine sending a message at work and the person receiving it is completely misunderstand what you mean. Maybe they think you are asking for one thing, but you actually meant something else. Sounds stressful, right? Effective workplace communication prevents situations like this. So, it's not just about talking or writing. It's about sending the right message to right person at the right time. So today, we will discuss workplace communication, its definition, key considerations, and types, and learn how to communicate clearly and professionally. Think about this. Have you ever experienced a situation where simple misunderstanding caused confusion or a mistake? How could it have been avoided? So let us start by understanding what workplace communication really is. So, workplace communication is a discipline of its own. So, unlike school or academic writing, it serves a specific purposes for a particular individuals, groups, organizations, or departments. Before communicating, you need to consider your purpose. So you have to ask yourself, am I creating a record, giving or requesting information, or trying to persuade someone? What exactly do you want to say? Let's say, for example, no, you are sending an email to your manager to give an update on a project. So your purpose is to provide information and maybe ask for feedback. So if you just say the project is done, your manager might wonder if it's fully complete or just partially done. But if you write, the project report has been completed and I have attached the final version for your review. Please let me know if there are any changes needed. Your purpose is clear, right? And your message is complete. So another example, you're supposed to persuade your supervisor to approve overtime for a project. You need to clearly explain the reason, benefits, and expected outcome to achieve your purpose. So this is different from just reporting what you have done. Because poor workplace communication can lead to mistakes, wasted time, and misunderstanding. Clear communication improves productivity and professionalism. Now that we understand the purpose, let's think about the audience. So because knowing who receive your message affects how you communicate. So according to Sirles 2014, considering your audience means asking questions like, who will read or hear this message? What are their job titles or responsibilities? What do they already know about the situation? Why do they need this information? What action do you want them to take? And are there any factors that might influence their response? Let's say, for example, if you're explaining a technical problem to an IT colleague, you can use technical terms like server downtime or software bug. But if you are explaining the same issue to someone in finance, you might say, our computer system is temporarily unavailable, so we cannot access the reports. Another example, you are sending instructions to a trainee. So if they are new, you need to give step-by-step guidance instead of assuming they know the process. So why do you think understanding your audience is sometimes more important than just writing clearly? Please feel free to comment down below. Next, let's look at the broad categories of workplace communication. So there are 4 main types, each serving a specific purpose. First, we have upward communication. So when you say upward communication, this is from your position to someone above you in the hierarchy. Let's say, for example, you write an email to your manager about a client meeting. Instead of just saying, meeting went fine, you explain, the meeting went well. The client agreed to the proposed plan and they requested a follow-up call next week. This gives your manager the necessary information to make decisions. Second, the lateral communication. So it is communication between colleagues on the same level. Let's say, for example, you are coordinating with your co-worker on a group project. You call them to confirm each person's task. discuss problems, and make sure deadlines are aligned. So this type of communication ensures teamwork runs smoothly. Third is the downward communication. So downward communication, it means from your position to someone below you. Let's say, for example, you are a team leader instructing a trainee on how to use a new software system. So instead of saying just do it, you say open the software, click on the reports tab, then select the current month. No? So this will generate the report you need. So clear instructions prevent mistakes and help them learn. Fourth is the outward communication. So this means communication with people outside your organization. So let's say, for example, you send a letter to a supplier about a late delivery. So instead of writing, "Where is my order?" you write, "We noticed the shipment of office supplies scheduled for September 5 has not arrived. Could you please provide an updated delivery schedule?" This professional and encouraged a prompt response. So in choosing the right type of communication ensures that your message reaches the intended audience effectively and professionally. So the third thing in considering the communication in the workplace is the tone. So tone is how your message comes across and sets how your audience will accept what you are saying. So you do not need to sound tough, demanding, or condescending, especially when discussing sensitive subjects or issues. A polite, respectful, and professional tone encourages cooperation and reduces misunderstandings. Let's say, for example, instead of writing, "You forgot to submit the report in time," you can write, "I noticed the report hasn't been submitted yet. Could you please send it by the end of the day?" The second version conveys the same message but in a respectful way. To summarize, workplace communication is different from school writing because it serves specific purposes for a particular people or groups. So always remember the purpose, audience, and tone. So choosing the right type of communication, the upward, lateral, downward, or outward, ensures your messages are clear, professional, and effective. So think of a time when a message at work or school was misunderstood. Which of these three considerations, the purpose, audience, or tone, could have been improved to prevent the misunderstanding? Please feel free to comment down below your answers.
I am Kyla Jane P. Sabelio, and I will be continuing the report about workplace communication. In workplace communication, the way we deliver messages can make a big difference in how they are received. According to CIRLIS 2014, there are two main approaches: writer-centered and reader-centered. So a writer-centered message focuses on the speaker or writer. Meanwhile, a reader-centered message puts attention on the listener or reader, showing concern for their needs, feelings, or benefits. So the writer or speaker, this is the person sending the message. It could be a manager giving instructions, an employee writing an email to a client. For the reader or listener, this can be the person receiving the message. This slide shows two ways of writing or speaking. Writer-centered. I'd be happy to assist you with your concern. We will send you a copy of your request, and I'm happy to let you know. While the reader-centered part is that if you have any concern, I'd be happy to assist you. Your request has already been sent. And lastly, you will be glad to know that. So the main idea is that the reader-centered messages are usually more polite, professional, and welcoming because they show that you are thinking of the other person, not just yourself. Now, let's move on to the positive and negative contents in workplace communication. This shows the difference between writing in a negative way and a positive way. So, negative content uses words that sound limiting, strict, or closed. So, it focuses on what cannot be done. Next is the positive content. So, positive content uses words that sound open, encouraging, and welcoming. So this focuses on what can be done. So these are the positive and negative contents of workplace communication. The negative part is that I cannot process your request for a credit in your account unless it has been investigated by the fraud department. We are closed after 5 p.m. daily. Wait for our call regarding your concern. While in the positive side, it says that your request for a credit in your account will be processed after it has been investigated. You may visit us daily before 5 p.m. and please be advised that you can expect. So why positive wording matters? So negative wording may sound cold, harsh, or discouraging, while positive wording makes the message sound polite, respectful, and customer friendly. So both versions give the same information, but the tone changes how the receiver feels about it. So in short, the negative is what you can do, while the positive is what you can do. So using positive content creates a more professional and supportive workplace environment. Now let's proceed to the workplace communication and ethics. Communication at work is not only about sharing information, it's also about sharing the truth responsibly. If communication is dishonest, misleading, or unfair, it fails the ethic test. So here are the 8 tactics that ruin workplace communication. Number 1, suppression of information. So what it means? It means deliberately hiding important facts or details that others need. So why it's wrong? Because it causes misunderstanding and prevents people from making the right decisions. 2, falsification. What it means? So it means giving false, fake, or made up information. Why is it wrong? Because it destroys trust and can harm the company's reputation. For example, an employee changes data on a financial report to make the department look more successful than it really is. Number 3, overstatement or understatement. What it means? Overstatement is exaggerating. Understatement is making something seem smaller or less important than it really is. So why is it wrong? Because both mislead others and create false expectations. Just like, for example, in educational setting, overstatement is that a teacher tells parents your child is the best in class when the child is only doing average work. So in understatement, a principal says the school has a minor problem with attendance, when in reality, many students are frequently absent. 4, selective miscoding. What it means? So coding someone but leaving out important words or changing the meaning. So why it's wrong? So it twists the truth and damages the person's credibility. Just like, for example, an employee reports, the boss said my idea was great but hides the fact that the full comment was great but too expensive to use right now. Number 5, subjective wording. So what it means? It means using emotional or biased language instead of neutral and factual words. So why it's wrong? So it can create personal attacks, hurt feelings, or confusion. So for example, instead of writing, the staff is lazy. It should be the staff missed 2 deadlines this month. So the first is opinion while the second is fact. Number 6 is conflict of interest. So it means when a person's personal benefit influences professional decisions. Why it's wrong? It's unfair and prevents decisions that are best for the company. Just like, for example, a manager approves a catering service owned by her cousin even though another service is cheaper and better. Number 7, withholding information. So what it means? It means not giving out information that should be shared. So why is it wrong? So it creates gaps in communication, delays work, and caused mistakes. So for example, a team leader doesn't inform the group that the client changed the deadline, so the project is delivered late. Lastly is plagiarism, meaning copying someone else's work or ideas without credit. So why is it wrong? It's because it is dishonest, unprofessional, and can lead to legal problems. So, why this is important in workplace communication? In the workplace, communication must be ethical because it builds trust, fairness, and professionalism. So to sum it up, workplace communication is only effective when it's honest and ethical. By avoiding these 8 unethical practices, employees and leaders can create a workplace built on trust, respect, and teamwork. After all, communication is not about exchanging words. It's about building credibility and good relationships in the workplace. That would be all. Thank you.